episode number 3. Number Trace. I am Robert Wright.
I'm Levi Fair.
And this is LNR Sports Talk. Don't forget, you can now follow us on Twitter at LR_Sports Talk. And you can like us on Facebook. Just search for LR Sports Talk, at LR Sports Talk. Today we got a little bit in store for you. We're going to talk about, we finally got our college football playoff rankings, so we're going to dive into some of that. We've got to talk about some baseball, some pretty big news in baseball that's been going on. Today, past couple days, I guess since Tuesday, we've got a little bit of UFC, boxing, news, maybe, I don't know. And then we'll make our NFL picks for the weekend coming up. NFL and a couple college picks, possibly. So.
There we go.
All right, so let's get it started. Let's dive right in.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and start off with the NCAA football. Obviously, on Tuesday at about 7 o'clock, they released the college football playoff rankings. No question, Alabama's sitting at an undefeated 10-0 right now. They're going to be sitting at number 1. They're just, I get the sense they're really not going to lose this season.
No, especially with the schedule they have coming up. It's pretty easy.
Of course, I think I said it last week. There's only one team that I feel like could knock them off, and that'd be Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Okay. If that, outside of that, I'm not sure anybody, whoever lands in that top 4 at the end of the season, I'm not sure any of those teams can beat them. Like, I just can't.
Oh, it's definitely not going to be the Chattanooga Mocs this week.
For real.
Like, what is
But
this?
how insane would that be? Just out of nowhere, Chattanooga just pulls off the most insane upset of all time and like knocks off Alabama. That would be.
It'd be insane. It'd almost be like Penn State pulling off an awesome upset.
That's true.
Upset.
It would make my heart happy. Let's just say that. So, coming in at number 2, Ohio State sitting at 9-1. Their only loss to Penn State this season, which is a really good opponent. Obviously, Penn State is sitting down at number 8 right now. Number 3, Michigan, 9-1 as well. And then their only loss was to Iowa last week, which was a fantastic game. And then number 4, Clemson, sitting at 9-1 as well. Their loss, again, was last week against Pittsburgh. And then we got 5 and 6 sitting at Louisville and Washington right now.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Why do you think Louisville gets the number 5 in the CFP, but number 4 in the AP? Oh. Number 3 in the AP.
So here's how I see it. The AP looks, it's kind of hard to describe for me. Is I guess the simplest way that I can put it is Clemson beat Louisville this season. That's how I see it. So in my mind, I think it's right that they're sitting at number 4 and Louisville's not.
Good call.
And so that's basically how I see that. But
Good call.
All right. Michigan though, Michigan's sitting at number 3 still. I think they were. What were they? 3 last week?
In the AP?
No, in the college football playoff. I think they were 3 last week. Clemson was still number 2, right?
I believe you're right.
So Michigan didn't move at all. That's that. Which really isn't all that surprising. I mean,
yeah, CFP last week, Michigan was still at number 3. Alabama was still at number 1. The only one that's new in the top 4 is going to be, of course, Ohio State moving up 3 from 6.
After Washington's loss last week.
5, yeah. Clemson, of course, was in the top 4 last week. They're just down 2 this time after that loss.
Sitting at number 2 last week. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. So, I mean, there's been a lot of ups and downs in the, I guess, in the rankings compared from this week to last week to this week. There's teams all over the place moving. I think we kind of covered it last week a little bit, but the biggest jump was going to be Texas A&M. They dropped 17 spots there from number 8 to number 23.
17 in the CFP. Like, that's not the poll that you want to drop in. Drop in the AP poll as many times as you want, but the CFP, that's not where you want to drop this late in the year, especially by 17. I don't think there's any hope for them whatsoever. I don't care if they win out the rest of their season. It's done for them. I think it was done
I don't know how it
week,
happened, honestly. USC was ranked number 20 last week. They're sitting at 13 this week. Fair enough. I can understand that one after beating number 4 Washington. So my issue right here with USC being at 13 is that they're 1 spot ahead of 1-loss West Virginia. USC has 3 losses on the season. Yeah. How can you have a 3-loss team ahead of a 1-loss team? According to the College Football Playoff Committee, it is by strength of schedule that USC is ahead of West Virginia, which makes 0 sense to me. But that's their job, not mine, and so I can't really control that a whole lot. But I'm a little bit iffy on the 8-1 start, or the number 13 spot for USC over West Virginia. And then
I don't know how you get over that that very first loss of the season for UFC. I mean, the blowout by Alabama, 6-52 was the final one.
Yeah.
I don't see how you get over that to beat a one-loss team.
I'll be totally honest. I forgot about that one.
No, blowout, absolute blowout.
That's probably why I forgot about it.
I mean, they lost to almost every. I want to say almost every ranked player they played. They played Utah. Of course, they lost to Utah.
Yeah.
By like a field goal. 4 points.
Yeah.
4 points was it was 27-31 that they lost. They haven't played any other ranked teams except for Washington.
Stanford's now ranked, which if that says anything, but they lost to Stanford 27-10. So that's that. Who knows? And then I honestly feel like West Virginia is getting a little bit hosed here because you look at USC, obviously that in our minds, I'm assuming you agree with me on that. West Virginia should be ranked ahead of USC.
Agreed.
Also, Oklahoma State, actually, scratch that part. I forgot that Oklahoma State beat West Virginia, didn't they?
West Virginia, yes.
They did lose. All right, well, forget that second part of that right there. How about that? Yes.
Good call. But, you know, West Virginia plays Oklahoma this weekend, so that's going to be a really big. I feel like that's going to be a pretty big matchup.
That's almost the game that decides the Big 12.
Well, it's definitely going to decide the Big 12.
It's either
but
this
it
one
also
or
decides the
that
Big
one.
12's fate in the New Year's Six.
That's true.
If Oklahoma wants any chance of making it in, they've got to beat West Virginia.
Do you think a 3-loss Oklahoma makes it into a New Year's Six? Not just a playoff spot, but a New Year's Six.
A 3-loss Oklahoma?
3-loss Oklahoma.
No.
Assume they lose this one and beat Oklahoma State.
No, I don't think not losing to West Virginia. If they lose to West Virginia, I think that's going to take them down far enough. You put them 3 losses on the season. Let's see. Your first 3-loss team is going to be Auburn, and they're at number 15 right now. So, I think you've got to stay at your 2 losses, and you've got to hope that someone else loses out today. Speaking of losing out, we've got Louisville and Houston right now. It is still halftime, I believe. At the half, 31-0. Not Louisville. Houston, 31-0.
Not Louisville.
Not Louisville. Louisville is not up at the half right now. They are being shut out by unranked Houston.
I was telling somebody earlier before we started this.
This is rough.
It's surprising as well as unsurprising to me. It's the unsurprising part. Actually, we'll start off with the surprising part. The surprising part, obviously, Louisville being at number 5 should not be losing a game like this, especially to unranked Houston. I don't care if it's on the road at Houston or not. That's not what you're supposed to be doing, obviously. But the unsurprising part is that if there's a game to lose, like if there's a game that Houston needs to go all out on,
oh, it's this one.
It's this one for sure.
It's absolutely.
After their loss to, or their victory over Oklahoma at the start of the season. After that, they kind of tell it off.
There was definitely a point where I thought that at week 11 right here that we were going to be looking at 2 undefeated teams, and I thought this was really going to decide it, but Houston went down. They kind of fell off. They lost a couple big ones, and 31-0 at the half right now. It's unbelievable. That's not what you expected.
What's going on in Louisville?
all I know is what do you think happens to Lamar Jackson's Heisman chances if he loses this game?
And this is not going to sound right, but it's just going to sound grammatically incorrect, but if they lose this game, he won't. It's hard to say. I said it earlier. It's hard to say, but he'll make it to New York. He won't win.
So you think
that's essentially what's going to happen?
You think he's still going to get the invite? He's got
he'll
enough to get the invite.
He'll be
but he's not going to get
for sure.
Okay.
So speaking of Heisman, who do you, as of right now, who do you think makes it as their top 3? Let's assume Louisville loses. Who do you make out of your top 3?
I don't. It's hard to fathom right now because if Louisville loses, I'm honestly Lamar Jackson's out.
You think he's done?
I think he's done.
Good.
I think he's done. It's an unranked team. Yeah, you had that one game where you put up 7 scores, but losing to
that
Houston?
One game. I think he's done it like 3 times this season. I don't know how the kid does it. He just throws the ball around and he's all over the place.
I honestly don't know. I haven't heard a whole lot from Christian McCaffrey here lately.
Going into the season, I really wish he would have done a lot more than what he did so far. I mean,
I think you have to go with JT Barrett for sure. is going to make
JT
it.
Barrett's looking good. I'm not sure that he's sitting in the top 3 right now. Deshaun Watson, I feel like can make it, but it comes down to these last 2 weeks here for Clemson. If he were to have a chance in the Heisman, it comes down to these last 2 weeks here.
There's definitely a lot of football left to be played, and
because sure their loss to Pitt last week, yeah, that happened, but not many people are thinking about the fact that he threw for 580 yards in that game. Most quarterbacks aren't going to do that across the league unless you're, of course, in the Big 12, and we apparently have no defense and we just throw them forever. So.
Well, let me give you the right now. Just looking at the Heisman watch here on ESPN, Lamar Jackson still has 10 first place votes, assuming they don't lose this game. You've got number 2 is Donald Pumphrey, Jalen Hurts, D.D. Westbrook, and Deshaun Watson, and then Dante Foreman from Texas. Deontay.
Yeah, Deontay Foreman. Dante. You don't really know anymore.
It's all right. At least it's not Devontae anymore.
I'll say Donnell Pumphrey has looked good. Sure, he's at San Diego State, but sitting at number 2 in the Heisman candidacy right now, that's impressive. The kid is on fire. I don't know if you guys ever get to watch any San Diego State's games. Of course, they're not on too terribly often in national TV and stuff like that, but he's the real deal, man. He can run it.
I haven't gotten a chance to watch him.
He's really good at finding the holes. He's patient. He's really patient. And that's something that I think most kids nowadays are really quick to try and hit the hole too early, and that's causing them to just not be the greatest runners. But he waits. He's very patient, standing in the backfield. He'll find the hole and he's gone. He has.
That's the hardest thing is if you watch those guys, the ones that are patient are the ones that get the yards.
Yeah,
for sure. What about Jalen Hurts?
It's Alabama.
How do you feel about him?
I'm almost to the point where sure, he's having a good season. I get that, but I don't think it's Heisman worthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's only thrown for 2,032 yards. I think Mahomes threw for that many in the first 3 games.
Yeah, he was way past that. My issue with Jalen Hurts being in the top 3 is I'm pretty convinced that it's because Alabama is where he's playing yet. If he wasn't playing at Alabama, there's no chance he's in that spot.
Well, he's led his team to be undefeated, so.
Yeah, but when you're Alabama, you can throw any quarterback in that system.
This is very true.
Another person I find intriguing being in the top 5 there in the Heisman candidacy, D.D. Westbrook.
Oklahoma.
Him and Baker Mayfield. I said it last week. That is one of the most lethal combos in all of college football right now.
Absolutely.
They will throw 60-yard bombs on you, and
he knows how to find Westbrook.
There's nothing you can do. I think he had, 2 60-yard touchdowns on us? Something like that? Which is not saying much, sure.
Don't get me lying.
But still, it just... Man, you can't stop him. You just can't. It's crazy. What's he got on the season?
He's got 1,254 yards on the season right now. Averages 18.4 yards per reception.
How many does Jonathan Giles have? I'm just curious.
How many does Jonathan Giles have?
Jonathan Giles, slot receiver out of Texas Tech. We're going to kind of compare him to D.D. Westbrook just a little bit here. See what happens. Because I thought Jonathan was at 1,000 yards or something like that within the first 4 games or 5 games. It was insane.
It was perfect. The way Mahomes just tends to find number 9 anywhere he goes.
1,070. So
yeah,
Giles
1,076.
Yeah, there you go.
1,076. He's only 200 behind, 250 behind,
Roughly.
Which is not bad.
Not bad because
he's averaging
slumps,
he's still averaging 16.6 yards per carry.
Yeah.
So
who knows? We'll see.
All right. Well,
moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of covered everything on the NCAA here right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's an endless discussion that you can talk about when it comes to NCAA football, but
for sure.
Kind of starting to think we need to move on just a little bit.
All right. Well, speaking of moving on, let's move on to baseball. MLB. We got a little postseason action going on. The Cy Young Awards were given out Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
In case you weren't aware, the Cy Young has been given out since 1956, I believe. 1956.
Stat of the day for you, or fun
fact of the day. There you go. Fact of the day. Let's call it a fact of the day.
Stat of the day.
Yeah, the Cy Young Award was introduced in 1956. Of course, they used to give it to just the overall best pitcher in the MLB, and then in 1967 they started giving it to the best pitcher in the American League and the best pitcher in the National League. And And so that's what we had handed out here Tuesday. For the National League, you had Max Scherzer from Washington, which I don't think anybody was I think that was kind of given.
Outside of Max, there's not really anybody that would have competed with him,
No.
except for maybe Jake Arrieta.
Maybe. But he had 284 strikeouts on the season.
Yeah, see, that's on another level.
Yeah.
They just
2.96 ERA, 228 innings pitched.
That's a lot, dude.
228 innings.
If you think about that, what's the other main starter for Washington? Strasburg. Steven Strasburg. He was only allowed like 190 this season, something like that, because they didn't want him to get hurt again. I'm pretty sure he got hurt.
Max Scherzer, he's actually got some pretty cool, interesting facts about this. He is the very first pitcher in Washington history, to receive the Cy Young Award.
Really?
Yeah, no pitcher from Washington has ever won it. So that's pretty big for that Washington organization. He's also the 6th pitcher to win the Cy Young in both the American League and the National League. He got it, of course, in 2013. He was with the Tigers over in the American League.
Yeah.
He joins Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, Gaylord Perry, and Roy Halladay. So
Those are big names.
real big names. Speaking of big
Those
names, just right off the top of your head, how many? Just take a random guess. How many Cy Young awards do you think Roger Clemens has?
I'm gonna not look at my notes. I didn't look at them anyway, but I'm gonna say I feel like a good number is around like 7.
7. He's got 7.
Is that it?
7.
Okay, I promise you I did not look at the notes, but I just felt like
Roger
because
Clemens,
the way you
7.
Wow, that's a lot.
Absolutely. Of course, the biggest one I remember is 2004 with the Houston Astros back when he was pitching for us.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Houston
buddy.
Astros. That was also back in the when they were National League Houston Astros, so that's why he gets the one in both leagues. Because the rest he played for American League, and for the rest of his career, the beginning of his career and the end of his career.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a real big thing there. In the American League, we had Rick Porcello. Rick Porcello won. He was actually only got 8 of the 30 first place votes. This is the first time that someone has. Hello.
So they were just
First time the winner didn't get the most first place votes ever. Verlander actually.
So he got 8 of the
There were 30 votes.
first place votes.
Yeah, there were 30
so
votes.
So what
cast.
you're saying is 8 for Rick Porcello, and then you get like a ton, like singles or maybe 2 votes for a ton of other pitchers.
Mhm.
Is that what you're saying, Richmond?
Well, when the ballot is cast, there's 5 people on there, of course, and you've got you can only cast it for 5 pitchers.
Okay.
So there's 30 ballots, each with 5 names on it.
Okay.
He only got first place in 8 of those. And of course, it's a weighted thing, so like your first place is worth 10 votes, and second place is worth 7 or something like that. I don't know the exact weighting on it, but this is the first time that a pitcher has not gotten the majority of the first place votes and has still won the Cy Young Award.
That's crazy. I know Kate Upton was not happy with that. I read an article today. She just was pretty much letting the voting process have it because Verlander didn't. Basically, honestly, it was basically because Verlander didn't win it.
Well,
That
it's he won the. Well, we just had this. He won the popular vote, but he didn't win the election.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
He actually got the most first place votes, but he got left off of 2 ballots. He was actually left completely off of 2 ballots. So
I'm gonna assume that hurts your chances just a little
oh,
bit.
absolutely, absolutely. When you don't get any points compared to the points that you could have, yeah, it makes a big deal. I know Verlander was not very happy about it, but I think Porcello owned it. I think he deserves it.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he earned it. I mean, he led the MLB with 22 wins for Boston.
Boston was a good team this year. I mean, behind only the Rangers, they were the best team, you know? Because you have Rangers sitting on top of the AL, and then you have Boston right there. And then from then, I don't really know where it happened because the Rangers and Boston were just like, at the end of the season, there was like boom, 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 boom. So it was so close. It was the only 2 teams that I cared to talk about at the time. And so couldn't tell you who was 3rd, 4th, 5th, whatever it was. So,
boom. Well, I mean, if you look at his numbers, he definitely deserves it. 3.15 ERA, 223 innings pitched, 189 strikeouts, and like I said, he led the league in 22 wins for Boston. So
that's interesting that He only got 8 of the first place votes and still won.
Yeah, the final tally on it was
Look at that.
137 for Purcello and 132 to Verlander. And like I said, even if Verlander would have gotten on those other 2 ballots in 4th or 5th, it wouldn't have helped him. He
Right.
wouldn't have won because it's like I said, it's weighted from top to bottom. So I guess he just got 8 first place votes and a ton of second and third place
There you go.
votes.
There you go.
So
Well,
congratulations
we got
to
the,
him.
Yeah, for sure. Congratulations to both of them, Max Scherzer and Rick Porcello. They actually announced earlier today the MVPs of each league. For the American League, we had Mike Trout out of Anaheim there at the Angels. And then for the National League, of course, this one really isn't too much of a surprise. There, and Chris Bryant led his team to a World Series for the first time in 108 years. Like, that is just, wow. But props to him. Absolutely props to him. Mike Trout, for the better part of the season, I didn't really hear too much about him, and so it's kind of almost a shocker to me to see him win the MVP. But
For the second time in
for the
3 years.
second time in 3 years there, and so don't get me wrong, he is a fantastic outfielder. He's incredible, and he can bat like nobody's business. But I feel like there were a few players in the AL that probably could have trumped him.
See what you did there.
Yeah,
I see what you did there.
there you go.
So big night in baseball. Like I said, they're handing out their Cy Youngs and their MVPs and getting ready for another year. I think it's going to be pretty exciting next year to see what happens.
I want baseball back already.
Oh yeah,
I already
absolutely.
do. I love baseball.
Absolutely.
I used to, like, probably 7 years ago, I hated baseball. Like, I remember turning on a Cubs game on ESPN, and I had changed it after like 5 minutes because it was just so boring. But then
Well,
the
you know,
Rangers,
baseball's hard to watch on TV.
for real, it is.
Sometimes
it's
it
only
just
like
is.
it's only like incredibly good if you are in the ballpark. You know what I mean? But I remember in 2010 watching the Rangers go to the World Series that year, and of course, being in Texas, you gotta watch the Rangers if they're in the World Series. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
I can
you
give
gotta
them that. You can
back
give
them
them
up
that.
at least, you know. The next year they did the same thing. They make it to the World Series. This time against the Cardinals in just devastating loss of the World Series. There were 2 times in that World Series where we were a strike away from being world champions, and we lost it. But
You sound like the Indians.
oh man, I'm still a little bitter about that. But and then year after year, progressively up until this point, we just watch more and more baseball. Now it's to the point where we watch almost as many games as we possibly can every single year. Excuse me.
Yeah, it'll be back before you know it.
Yeah, I love opening day.
Oh yeah. I mean, we got college coming up. College baseball is going to be pretty great this year. I have a feeling.
Go Red Raiders. Yeah.
Guns up, baby.
Yeah. We'll get to some recruiting news on Texas Tech baseball in a few minutes here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Gonna knock out a few of those.
All right. So I think we've about knocked baseball
Yeah.
out of the
Out
park.
of the park. Yeah, I see what you did there. This is fantastic.
All right, so we're gonna move on to a little UFC news. Of course, we have Conor McGregor as your new UFC champion.
Yep.
Knocking out Eddie Alvarez. Whoever it was.
Whoever. I'm kind of
Obviously,
looking at you.
obviously not that big of a deal, but anyways. So right now we've got something in the works. I don't know if it's actually in the works, and I don't know if it'll ever happen. I don't know if it'll ever get sanctioned even.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor has called out Floyd Mayweather. He said he wants $100 million to fight him under boxing rules because he's afraid of a real fight. Those are Conor McGregor's words. He says, I want him under boxing rules.
Because Floyd wouldn't last in UFC rules?
Yeah, well, I agree with that maybe.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Oh,
but I think it's
the other part?
no, I
What's
honestly
wrong
don't.
with you, man?
I honestly don't. Let me tell you what Floyd Mayweather said when McGregor was compared to him. He said, "Never compare Conor McGregor to me. It's a total disrespect. Once again, I'm an elephant. An elephant don't beef with ants. Elephant is so large he don't even see ants."
Some of the stuff people say nowadays, I'm just kind of like, I look at him say that, I'm saying like, what? Like, you couldn't find anything else to compare that to. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad analogy or anything, but just saying that kind of stuff. I don't know. I feel like McGregor, in boxing rules, would put down Mayweather.
Absolutely not. You have got one of the world's best boxers. He's a legend. Tell me the last time Conor McGregor made $300 million off a fight. I know that Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, that was probably a sleeper, but McGregor, man, if he can't use his feet or get you on the ground, he's not a boxer. That's the thing. I think Mayweather would whitewash him.
No.
Up and down the ring. Up and down.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it's going to be a good fight to watch, but I mean they're both kind of dancers.
One, it would be that's the truth.
They're both dancers.
One, I feel like it'd be a pretty good fight to watch. I feel like the majority of the country would watch that fight. Two, I honestly think McGregor is a tougher man than Mayweather is.
Are you saying that because he's younger and he's in his prime right now?
No, not necessarily.
And because Floyd Mayweather's he's 39. And that's
Mayweather's a great boxer. He's fantastic. But I feel like, one, McGregor can handle taking in more hits than Mayweather can. You look at UFC, which uses basically no glove. Basically. That's just straight, that's almost just bone, just hitting you in the face. Whereas in boxing, it's not padded or anything. It's still a hard thing, but it's not like solid as much as a hand is.
So what McGregor's saying though is he wants to fight Mayweather under straight boxing rules. Under straight boxing rules, same gloves, same everything.
Right.
Would you watch that fight?
Yeah.
You would?
I would, yeah.
I think it'd be a sleeper.
I think it'd be a fun fight to watch. Especially to see McGregor take down Mayweather. That'd be the best part.
Definitely not. I think if you're gonna get people to watch, you gotta add something in, like go your first round, regular boxing rules, second round maybe throw in a little MMA, and when it throws in the MMA, yeah, Mayweather's going down. But
if he can last round one, are you saying if he lasts round one, McGregor would win?
If McGregor lasts round one, then I have a feeling if he went to MMA rules, yeah, if he can use his feet, sweep the leg. I think he's got a lot better chance.
McGregor is just a scary dude. I look at him.
I don't care. Don't challenge the world champion boxer.
Do it. I'm all for it, man.
Wasn't
it a few months ago Ronda Rousey did the same thing?
Yeah, but one thing is, Conor McGregor needs Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather doesn't need Conor McGregor.
Yeah. But even
if you're Floyd Mayweather, are you really coming out of retirement to fight an MMA fighter?
Why not?
I think it was Muhammad Ali. I want to say Muhammad Ali actually fought a.
How old is Mayweather?
Mayweather's 39 right now. So by the time this fight actually goes down, he'll be like 41.
Yeah, because that's just how boxing works, right?
I mean, they drug out Pacquiao fight, so
yeah, that's
look at what 4 years.
I heard there might be a rematch now.
I wouldn't care.
I would.
No.
Dude, Pacquiao should have won that first one. You know it. You know Pacquiao should have won that fight.
Oh man. I'm just saying, like Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
A while back, Muhammad Ali, he actually fought a wrestler. The entire match was the wrestler lying on his back and kicking Muhammad Ali in the shins. Nobody wants to watch that. I'm saying McGregor, Mayweather. I don't think anybody wants to watch that. Not under boxing rules.
That's different, though. This is two superstars in their respective sports. I think if you get those two in the same ring, you're going to be raking in quite a bit of money.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. If you can find a place to get it sanctioned, for sure.
Las Vegas, you can do anything there.
I don't know that Las Vegas would sanction that kind of fight.
I think so.
I mean, you're comparing apples to oranges. UFC and boxing are not the same sport whatsoever. Conor McGregor is not a boxer, and Floyd Mayweather is not a mixed martial artist. It's apples and oranges. I don't care what you say. It's apples and oranges.
Sure.
You can't compare the two.
I'll give you that. It's apples and oranges, but I feel like. Well, I'm just gonna go back to it. I honestly feel like Conor McGregor would take down Mayweather. That's the basis that I'm going off. He would.
We could talk about this all night.
We could.
But the fact of the matter is I don't see this fight happening. I don't see Mayweather coming out of retirement for $150 million. And he doesn't need the money. Then again, he might. I don't see this fight happening. I don't see it getting sanctioned. I don't see it happening.
But you also didn't necessarily see Pacquiao and Mayweather getting together. And that one took a long time to get in the works.
It did. And my biggest thing is if this does take a long time to get in the works, you got Mayweather's going to be, like I said, he's 39 now. if you drag it out
42.
3 or 4 years, yeah, he's 41, 42. He's definitely not in his prime anymore.
Yeah.
And you've got McGregor in his prime right now.
Who would be the crap out of an old man?
Yeah, I don't see Floyd Mayweather coming out of retirement, but the thought is being entertained, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting.
I mean, that's good for us because we get to talk about it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'll talk about it all day long if you want to. But in all reality, I like to be a realist here.
Yeah.
I don't
Fair enough.
see that fight happening. But if it does happen, I see Mayweather taking out McGregor. Moving on.
That quickly, we're just gonna stop it there.
I'm not gonna let you get a chance to reflect that one.
Real quick, y'all don't forget to go follow us on Twitter at LR_Sports Talk or like us on Facebook. Just LNR Sports Talk on there.
LR. There's nothing in between. It's just
LR Sports Talk.
Yeah.
My apologies. We'll be posting stuff on there every day. You kind of get updates as to when we're going to post new episodes, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean that's basically it. Just go give us a follow or a like on either of those two. And
Also, if you're watching right now, we are in the hunts for sponsorships.
That's very true. Yes.
So we gotta have something so that we gotta get mics or something in here so that y'all can actually hear us.
Yeah.
So
the audio is shady.
If you're
best.
if you're wanting to sponsor, of course we've got to click on our. You can email us or you can get in touch with us on our social media. Anything like that, we're flexible. Promise.
Yes,
we're flexible.
absolutely. Just looking for anybody out there. Just give us an email instead of a call, I guess.
Yeah, something, anything.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. All right. Well,
what we got next?
I say we move on to the NFL.
Okay.
A lot of things going on in the NFL right now. We've actually got.
It's gonna be a good week.
Well, we've got New Orleans at Carolina right now. I wonder how that's looking. Let's look in here. I know Carolina, they've actually got a bunch of wildfires going on right now.
No way, really?
Yeah, there's a bunch of wildfires. They said it was actually, the smoke was blowing in and they weren't sure if it was going to be hazy there tonight. I haven't actually seen live footage of the game, but I know that
Did
was
you
a
see
possibility
the,
of having smoke on the field.
What's today, Thursday? There was
Yes.
a game last night or Tuesday night, something like that.
Mac, are you talking
Yeah,
about?
it was the Mac game.
Was it Ball State?
Oh, I can't remember who it was. I saw a picture of it though. The fog that rolled in last night, you couldn't see the field from the camera booth. It was that thick. It was insane.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
Ball State Toledo
That
is
was
what
it.
it was. Did they end up calling the game because of that, or what was going on?
I have no clue, honestly. I don't watch action very much, so.
No, sad day. I don't think you're alone. But anyways, yeah, I know it was a real big deal. They thought there was going to be smoke on the field from the wildfires going on in Carolina, so that's kind of a big game.
That's weird hearing it come from the East Coast rather than the West Coast, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
California's always got wildfires going on.
Yeah, it's super
like
weird
every
hearing
year.
it over there. But like I said, you've got the Saints and the Panthers
Yeah.
going on right now, which is basically a must-win game for both of them. If I had to say, if either one of them want to keep their season alive, this is a game to win.
Exactly right, yeah.
Unfortunately, right now, if you're a Saints fan, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. You got about 8 minutes left in the third quarter, and it is 20-33 with the Panthers on top.
I got a feeling I'm about to be really angry because I dropped Jonathan Stewart and Carolina's winning 23. Okay, no, I'm not angry. We're good.
23-3.
23-3. Carolina's up on the Saints right now. Check out the stats. We have stats on that.
We can get stats on that.
I would definitely be using my computer tonight, but I don't know what happened at my apartment, but nothing charged. Like, honestly, the video camera didn't even charge either, so it's weird. So we're just kind of bearing with things right now, but...
Computer down. This is why we need an actual production team.
Exactly.
So that they can look up, so that we can look up stats, or they can look up stats while we continue to talk.
There you go.
And we could just, chime them in, whatever. Let's see here. Why is I'm getting stats? Stats.
Time filler.
All right, here we go. We got your top performers. Of course, Drew Brees has thrown for.
Just like shut up.
He's 16 for 21 right now, only 145 yards. Cam Newton is 13 of 27 for 174 yards. 3 less passes, 30 more yards. Cam Newton's got 1 touchdown.
What's going on with your laptop? Buddy?
Drew Brees has 1 interception right now. Your top rushers, dude. Jonathan Stewart, 14 carries, only 28 yards. Jeez, but 1 touchdown.
That's why I dropped him, because that wasn't flying anymore.
Averaging 2 yards. His longest was only 10. You've got Mark Ingram over in New Orleans for 7 carries and 28 yards. That's funny. Half the carries, the same amount of yards.
Yeah.
All right.
See?
But no touchdowns, and his long was 14.
Now you're understanding more and more why I dropped out of this year. Just keep rolling in.
Your receiving leader on the Panthers right now is Olsen. He's got 4 receptions for 33 yards, with 12 being his long.
In my mind, he's one of the better tight ends in the league.
Do you think so?
Mm-hmm. As far as receiving goes.
How do you feel about Zach Ertz? Pretend Zach Ertz can stay healthy all season long.
That's a big pretend, dude.
Pretend.
That's a huge pretend.
Let's just pretend Zach Ertz can stay healthy all season long.
He's good, but I don't think he's Greg Olsen, Jason Witten kind of good.
Jason Witten kind of good.
Yeah, for an old man, you gotta admit, he's still got it, man. He's still got it.
Does. I'll tell you one thing. He knows how to run his routes and get open when he needs to.
I don't know how he does it, man.
Because he's an old man.
And he's experienced.
He's experienced, exactly. Although
God,
experience
really.
doesn't seem to be playing so well on the quarterback field this year.
That's true.
Speaking of the quarterback field, Sunday, you got Miami coming to L.A. to play the Rams.
Yep.
Got a big shakeup in L.A. going on. Case Keenum, no longer your starting quarterback. I think we talked about it on Monday. I said it would be the end of the season before we saw Goff, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was very wrong. Goff is playing starting the game this week.
So when he came out of Cal, I didn't think he was going to be NFL ready because as far as physicality goes, his physical attributes, he was a small dude. I mean, he was skinny. And, of course, we haven't seen him all season long, and so I don't know how maybe the LA Rams might have developed him and gotten him to be a little bit bigger as the season has gotten to this point, and maybe just put on a few pounds on him. But if we see the same guy that came out of Cal as far as physical attributes, I don't really feel like he has much of a chance, honestly. Like, he's just too small. But does that stop a lot of people, though?
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, let's
he's
be
too
for
small.
real. It's how bad is he really going to do? He's following in Case Keenum's.
That's true. Yeah, you got a bar that's set about right here, whereas if you were under Tom Brady, it's like way up here.
I think I saw something the other day that Case Keenum is leading the lowest scoring offense at about 15 points a game.
That's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah. So,
I would have set him a long time ago.
and if you're Fisher, I'd have gone with Goff a long time ago. You're right.
Yeah.
I'd have pulled Goff out. I would have put Goff in and taken Keenum out a long time ago. I don't
Case
know how you
Keenum
can
had
go
a
through
good college
season.
career, but he just hasn't lasted in the NFL. He's a good backup.
Yeah, great backup. But so is Brock Osweiler. And
Look where he's at.
where he's at. Starting for the Houston Texans. Speaking of the Houston Texans, they play Monday night at Oakland. Going to Oakland.
Oakland's a good team.
I
They're
agree.
fun to watch,
I
man.
agree. What I don't agree with is what we had on Monday, where our caller Tyler in Brownwood called the Oakland Raiders to go to the Super Bowl.
Out of the AFC, I don't agree with that, but I will say they'll make it deep in the AFC side. I'm gonna say they make it all the way to. I'm gonna say the AFC Championship game is my
Think so?
guess. Yeah.
So who do you think is going to be the AFC Championship game? Go on and
H-
say it. Are we going to see a rematch of this weekend? It's okay.
You can say it. Rematch this weekend. What?
Hmm?
What? A
Houston
rematch?
Texans, Oakland Raiders.
Dude, Houston's not making it. I'm sorry. That's what you're getting at here.
We're gonna find out.
They're
We're
not
gonna
gonna
find
make
out.
it, dude.
I don't care. Hey, they're at the top of the AFC South right now.
Oh my gosh. All right, if they make it,
Go on the road,
I'll
win
give you
this one.
$100. If Houston makes it, y'all seeing it right here. I'll give you $100 if Houston wins the AFC.
If Houston wins the AFC, no. Or if Houston goes to the AFC Championship game.
Okay, if they go to the AFC Championship game, I will give you $100.
Deal.
All
I'll take that. You saw it here.
It's about as good as the odds are for the Bears. So
No.
Out of luck, dude.
Come on. Seriously? Y'all have won 2 games. We're sitting on the top of our conference.
how many wins you guys got?
6.
There's no way you guys have not won 6 games.
Yeah, dude. We won 5 at home. And then last week we beat the Jaguars on the road for our first win. 6-4.
Who's playing in Mexico this week?
In Mexico? Ooh.
Yeah, there's a game in Mexico this week.
Forgot about that. Hello.
I have a strange feeling that it's actually a Houston game.
No.
Yeah.
Don't send my boys to Mexico.
I'm pretty sure it was them.
On Monday Night Football?
Yeah. What a better night to do than Monday night. I totally just kind of rhymed there. In a way.
Yeah, you're right.
Wow, that's first headline we read. We type in NFL Mexico City. First headline we read is Texans are warned to stay in hotel, not order room service in Mexico.
Really?
Right.
You're gonna send my boys down to Mexico and then tell them not to leave your room? What are we doing here? We're gonna play water polo in the pool in the hotel? What?
Hey man, that's pretty good. That's pretty good cardio. Look at your heart pumping there.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like insane stuff.
That's
That's
pretty
intense.
good.
Guys are doing it in the Olympics. I give them props, man.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and pick it. I'm gonna say Houston is gonna win that game. 'Cause I would love for them to win that game. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 21-17.
On Monday Night Football?
Monday Night Football.
Bro, no. I'm sorry. I know you have high hopes for your boys, but I'm going to say Oakland's going to win that one 34-20 is my guess.
34-20.
Yep, 34-20. I just think Oakland's offense is too powerful for
You think we're gonna pull
Houston defense.
You think Houston's gonna pull a Hatfield and miss the extra point? That went to 20?
That would be funny.
No, it wouldn't. No,
I'd laugh. So that's that. It's better than the Bears. We're probably going to lose to
Well, the Giants. You are
this
gonna
week.
lose to the Giants.
You know what's going to suck? Is if the Bears lose to the Giants on a last-second field goal by none other than the great Robbie Gould, ex-Bears kicker. How bad would that be?
How bad would that be if you're a Bears fan? How great would that be for
That's
the
exactly
rest
right.
of the
That's
nation?
exactly right. Got a buddy that lives down the street from my parents' house, and he's a huge Giants fan. And so I'm sure if that were to be the case, he would make sure we knew about it pretty loud and clear. So,
Wow.
what else we got this week on tap? Also, big news coming out of Dallas. Dak Prescott is getting the nod over Tony Romo there. Not much of a surprising thing there.
Now, by the nod, you mean Tony Romo's actually suiting up this week?
I'm assuming he is.
Sweet.
He is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dak Prescott's he's starting over Tony Romo for the first time this season, actually starting without Romo being injured or any of that kind of stuff. It's a clear cut. We're going to go with Dak Prescott kind of situation in Dallas there, which is good. Dak
Yeah.
Prescott's doing well so far.
I don't know if you saw it. Romo actually came out, I guess, yesterday, 2 days ago.
Mhm.
Very, very emotional.
I heard there were tears.
I'm
I wasn't 100% sure
I'm
on
sure
that one,
there
but
were
I heard
tears
there were
from everybody. I know he didn't field any questions from reporters, but after the speech he gave, I read it. I'm not going to go over it. We all know what he said. He said Dak Prescott deserves the job. He earned the job to be starting quarterback, even though it hurts Tony a little bit.
Yeah.
I imagine he's hurt. He's the guy. He said he's the guy that he wants to have the ball. He wants to be the one leading his team. But
If there's a quarterback that the Bears should take up after they
don't say
please,
Tony
for the
Romo.
love of God, get rid of Cutler, I would want an experienced Tony Romo that doesn't get hurt. But the issue with that is Tony Romo gets hurt, so that's not going to happen. What are your other options? Please tell me what your other options. Do you stick with Jay
Man.
Cutler for 3 more seasons? No. You got to get rid of him. Unless you go pick up Patrick Mahomes out of Texas Tech.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
Woo!
Well, I'd be careful because Cleveland's got that first round draft pick coming up.
Man, I would feel bad for Patrick if, and I don't think he'll go as the first quarterback in the draft.
Mm-mm.
But they're just, who does Mel Kiper have ahead as the number 1?
As the number 1 quarterback right now?
Yeah. Do you know?
I do not. I can find that for you though.
And trust me, it kills me to say that I think the Bears should go after Tony Romo, but you need a starting quarterback that is at least consistent. Jay Cutler doesn't even have the locker room. They talked about it this week on an alert from Bleacher Report. The locker room feels as if Jay Cutler is pretty much detached from the team. Jay Cutler doesn't feel the same way, but when you got the entire majority of the locker room feeling the same way, opposing Jay Cutler, there's an issue there. There's a huge issue there. And of course, that's the ESPN insider that won't let us through. So,
don't you hate that?
I hate that because I'll never go and buy the ESPN insider. That part
Oh
sucks.
goodness. Well, I would tell you, but I'm not an insider subscriber.
I think they have Mahomes as like the number 2 or 3 quarterback in the draft, which at that point the Bears have a shot. But as bad as this season's going, they have a shot.
Yeah, what are they? 2-8?
Well, you know what's really bad if you think about it? If Cleveland wins 2 games, they're all of a sudden tied with the Bears. That's it. You just have to win 2 games.
Yeah, but
of course
you know,
we
went over Cleveland's schedule, and I don't see 2 wins happening for them.
They put Pittsburgh 2 of the last 6 games here. Is that
Yeah,
right?
2 of the last 6. They also play the Bills and
Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincy. I think Cincinnati's next week, and then
That's
they go
tough.
to the Bills.
You're gonna lose.
They play
every single
Baltimore,
one.
and that's it. So who do you pick for the? How are you picking the Baltimore-Dallas game?
Baltimore-Dallas.
You
Baltimore's a good team, but I think Dallas is going to pull it out. It's at home for the Cowboys, and so Dallas is going to win that one. I'm going to go with a score of 27-20. They're going to win by a touchdown. 27-20. It'll be closer than most people think.
And you like that 20 number.
I do.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Dallas as well. I'm gonna say Dallas wins it. And I'm gonna say they kick at least 2 field goals. Let's go 30.
All right, what other games you got? Obviously, Thursday Night Football's going on right now, so we're not going to make that pick 'em. But
right now it looks like Carolina's gonna win a game. Right now it's 2:57 to go in the 3rd quarter, and it's 3:23.
there's only been a field goal made in the second half. Jeez. You know, sometimes I really don't like the NFL. We talked about viewership on the first episode and how things need to change in the NFL in order to increase viewership, but
It's these
just-
matchups.
Yeah, that's
Honestly,
exactly
right now, we're not watching Thursday Night Football. I don't honestly have
Any desire to?
any desire yet.
Yeah. Even with these 2 teams, they hate each other, but
I will say,
we're
did you
not
see?
going to have a desire to watch that.
Did you see Cam Newton's pregame cleats? Oh, they were hideous. They were like zebras. They were zebra print with gold little feathers on them, and yeah, it was.
Dude,
you know-
Antonio Brown has the best pregame cleats ever. Some of those things are awesome, dude.
Cam Newton, he may not be able to play great football this year, but he definitely knows how to impress.
He's got some.
Well, I wouldn't say impress. He knows how to get people talking about his outfits.
He'll bring attention to his outfits for sure.
Absolutely. I guess. Any other games you want to talk about this weekend? I don't. Do we
Not
have any
really, I
really
mean-
big? I don't-
Pittsburgh's going to run over Cleveland pretty handily. And hopefully Le'Veon Bell is the one that's doing the running because that's my fantasy running back, and I need him to just go off this week.
I would
so.
definitely start any Pittsburgh Steelers players you have this week.
Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, all of them.
Absolutely.
If you
They're
could start an
Cleveland-
offensive lineman, I'd start an offensive lineman, but we'll see.
So, do you want to bet Cleveland scores or doesn't score this week?
They score.
You think so?
Yeah. Terrell Pryor will get it done. He's the only one that will score for that team.
I agree.
Yeah. Quarterback
Yeah.
turned receiver.
You know, as bad as that team is, Pryor seems to put up fantasy points every week.
You have him, don't you?
Oh yeah,
You
I've
play
got
him
him, and
every
he's
week?
great.
You play him every week?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's great.
I would be so scared to play any Cleveland player.
Oh yeah, except for Terrell Pryor.
I
Play
think
Pryor.
Terrell Pryor is honestly the only person in our league, or the only Browns player in our league that
that is played.
is on the team.
Hmm?
I think
believe you're
everyone
right.
else, like Duke Johnson and whoever their quarterback is now, they're all sitting in our league. I do have one more thing on NCAA football that I got to kind of cover,
What's that?
as well as Texas Tech football. We'll start off with that NCAA part real quick. Did you see the Colin Cowherd show yesterday?
No, I did not get a chance.
Talking about the issue with the college football playoff,
No.
which is weird to hear because it's only 3 seasons into the college football playoff, and this is where we're standing. But there was a guy that was a guest or a guest on the Colin Cowherd show. Speaking of, we need to get a guest on the show.
Yeah.
But there was a guest on the Colin Cowherd show that was explaining way that schedules should be made. Because if they're going to go by strength of schedule, if that's what they pride themselves so heavily on as far as the playoff committee goes, then there needs to be a more complete strength of schedule amongst every team in the league.
Agreed.
I can't remember the guy's name that was on the show, but he was talking about how you take the teams from the previous season. So say that, I don't even know, Alabama won their SEC West Division last year, of course. Stanford won the Pac-12, whatever division they're in. I don't even know. I think that was, I want to say, no, they're the North. They're got to be the North. Yeah, they're the North because they're with Oregon. Stanford wins the Pac-12 North last year. So his reasoning was, if those two teams are going to win their respective divisions, then they play, each team plays 2 non-con games. They're going to be against the winners of the respective divisions each week. So Alabama would play Stanford, okay? And then like that same week, assume Ohio State won the Big 12 division that they're in, Ohio State would play, say, the winner of the SEC East. So you get all these teams that play each other that are at the top of their division year in, year out. You're going to have a strong strength of schedule going in every single year.
Very true.
And then you play all of your division, and then you play the championship game, and then that decides, like that gives you a more complete look at the
So what you're saying is things like this Alabama-Chattanooga game shouldn't be happening.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Alabama should be playing
completely
Stanford or Ohio State or something like that in the season.
Yep, agreed.
Give them the competition, because I hate and I understand Alabama's reasoning for playing Chattanooga in the 11th week, because they play Auburn in the 12th week of the season every year, and they do it every single year. They'll play Chattanooga or I don't know, the sisterhood school of the blind or something in week 11, and so you know, and I encourage you viewers and you as well, Robert, to go and just watch that. I retweeted it on our page, I think. He just had some really good points as to how this issue could be resolved. What's the score?
I'm actually pulling it up live now. It looks like, live update, Louisville Cardinals at Houston Cougars. You want to wait here? I don't want to give you wrong information. But, yep, third quarter is over.
Louisville's on the board.
7-31.
Golly.
1 quarter. I wouldn't go to sleep on this one. I wouldn't go to sleep.
As Lamar Jackson throws 7 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, he'd win the Heisman at that point.
Let's see. Let's see what he's done so far. He actually has 200 yards in this game.
199 to be exact.
Oh, okay, 199. But he has 18 of 34.
That's bad.
That's real bad. Not good.
Not good at all.
I wouldn't go to sleep on it yet, though. Let's see what. Well, I can't pull up any more stats on it. But anyways, so don't go to sleep on that one. I guess we'll talk about the results of that one and the rest of our NCAA scores and NFL scores on Monday on our show.
I think we pretty much covered it all today.
I think so too. Don't forget, once again, follow us on Twitter at @LR_Sports Talk, and like us on Facebook. You can just search for @LR Sports Talk. There's no space, no nothing. It's just LR Sports Talk. Feel free to leave us comments, send us an email, phone call, whatever. We'd be happy to talk with anybody about anything. Right now.
Absolutely.
We'd love to hear y'all's views, how you think the show's going, and opinions.
Yep.
So
opinions would work for sure. We need. I don't want to say criticism, but we need critics.
Definitely. Definitely good and bad.
Yeah, good and
More
bad
good.
for sure.
But we need the bad.
That's exactly right. For sure. You viewers right now on YouTube, you guys go ahead and subscribe to us, man. We're going to be posting a couple videos every single week. Like I said on the Twitter and Facebook page, we'll let you guys know whenever new videos or new episodes are coming out. We'll just obviously be covering the things we've been covering all along. We even stretch out to boxing and UFC today.
Hey, that's big, man. Conor McGregor calling out the world champ boxer.
Exactly.
That's huge.
If it happened, McGregor would win. So that's that. So I know you shake your head at that, but it would happen. So.
Can't win for losing. Can't win for losing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I reckon that's about all. Anything else?
It. Hopefully we get some crazy Thursday night football action going here. Hopefully, who knows? New Orleans could make a raging comeback against.
They could.
against Carolina here, which
They
would
could.
be
Hey, they've blown
insane.
17-point lead before, so.
That's true.
I'm Robert Wright,
I'm Levi Fair.
and we are.